Hello, I'm Brenda Bingham with the Blue Star Mothers, president of Chapter 11. And I have with me today Miss Karen Vollman, and she's our recording secretary.
Hello, everybody.
And we're here to share with you some of the things that we've been doing and what we do, like we've told you a lot of times, but that's what we're going to do. So you want to tell them what time our meeting is?
Okay, we have a business meeting at 6:30 on the second Thursday of the month, and then we have our care packing meeting the fourth Thursday of the month at 6:30, and it's at both of them are at the Oakwood Mall.
That's
We're between the Cookie Company and Dillard's. You'll see the flags out in front of our store.
That's right. And you're always welcome. And if you've got any sons or daughters serving, we really want to see you. So
make sure we get their address because we want everybody to have a box that's deployed.
That's right. And we've got some that's coming home, but we've got some that are fixing to leave. And I think tomorrow night we are packing 47 care packages. And I hope that they will get lots of goodies that they enjoy getting from us.
We get a lot of feedback from them. The ones that can be on Facebook and stuff about, I know Betty was telling me this morning that a couple of them had said they look forward to the Blue Star Mother care packages.
That's awesome. We love to hear that. Because, you know, as a mom, we all want our kids to do well. We want them to receive whatever we can help them get. And especially when they're deployed, you know, they miss all the holidays, all the Christmases, and
they do.
All the special times. And so we want them to have a taste of home and remember that we
and
all
sometimes when
think
they
of
do a 15-month tour, they miss Thanksgiving and Christmas 2 years.
Exactly.
Because like if they deploy 1st of November and they don't get home till the following year.
That's true.
You know, a 15-month tour it's hard, and we want to make sure everybody gets what they need.
Exactly. So if you know somebody that's deploying, please get their address to us and help us to send them a lot of love.
I may add too, it doesn't matter if they're from Northwest Oklahoma or not. We have sent from other states that we've got addresses for. Anytime we get an address, we send a box.
That's
it doesn't
right.
matter where they're from.
That's right. So if you got a nephew or niece or a friend that their child is deployed and you know somebody that may not get a care package, we'll be glad to put a smile on their face.
Yes, I had talked to a lady at Cracker Barrel one time when I was up in Indiana by Fort Wayne, and her son was just deploying. And so I gave her one of my business cards, and she emailed me his address.
Awesome.
And we got to send to him.
Yes.
And she said, I've never heard of the Blue Star Mothers. And I said, of course, I told her all about us. But
of course, you know, you bring up Blue Star Mothers, you're going to get an earful.
Oh, that's true. We never know when to stop talking.
That's right. So, and as you all know, this is Memorial Weekend coming up. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and we'll start off the weekend with the Red Dirt Run, and that is Saturday morning. Starts at 7 a.m., I believe. And if you haven't registered, you still can. So,
and we'll be giving out water at 54th and Southgate. And
yes,
I think at 42nd
and Fox. And they could use one more helper if anybody wants to help. We will stretch as thin as we can. But, you know, they're all running for someone that has served. Maybe it was the past. Maybe it's the present.
Maybe it's the fallen.
That's right. So, you know, sign up, help them out. And then Monday, we will be out there at the Woodring Wall of Honor, and we will be doing a blue to gold ceremony. But even if we wasn't doing the blue to gold ceremony, the ceremony is awesome. You know, a lot of us think that it's just time to go to the lake and time to do this and to have fun. But, you know, it really is about our fallen.
It is.
It really is about who gave all.
And your heart has to go out to the Gold Star family that you're representing and doing the blue to gold too.
That's right.
It's just emotional.
Exactly. Because, none of us want to face the fact that we could lose someone. But, when it comes to our sons and daughters and they give their life for our freedom, it's a very emotional time. So if nothing else this weekend, take a few minutes to say a prayer for that family. Even if you don't know them, God knows who they was.
And that's true. And also our MIA and we ring a bell for those. I think there's still 31 missing in
Right.
action. And we need to remember them too.
That's right.
Because their families are waiting for them to come home.
That's right. And it never ends. They will never stop waiting. So anyway, moving on. We also are just staying busy with our fundraisers and getting out here. We've been to O'Keene and then we've come back and been working on our room and working on things.
And the 19th, last Saturday, we went to the Flames Across America.
That's
where the
right.
motorcycles come through, going to Washington, D.C., and that's an awesome ceremony, too, when they pass the flame.
It really is. And this time, just out of the blue, we wasn't expecting it, but they asked Karen to blow the torch out at the end of the ceremony.
That was an honor.
So,
It really was.
It really is, and it's another emotional ceremony.
I had a little bit of tears in my eyes.
That's right. But remember those bikers as they're going across the country, because they've left California and they stopped in El Reno last week and they was moving on.
Yeah, I think Little Rock was their next stop on the way to
right.
Washington, D.C.
That they'll all be there by Friday night.
Yeah.
So, and that's another honor. I was able to be the sergeant, not the sergeant, the dadgummit.
Flag bearer.
The flag bearer, patriot person is who I was. So I got to go to D.C. for Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And I'm going to tell you, Memorial Day is a day in Washington, D.C. that you would never forget. If you ever get to go, take the time to go. It's awesome to be there, and what an honor. So I thank my son every day for what he's done for his country.
Yeah, I do. I think my daughter and son. I have 2 veterans in my family, but
Yeah.
I think all of them. I mean, every family that goes through deployment or goes through losing their child or whatever, I mean, it's the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we really need to be thankful.
That's right, and I know we're getting a little mushy today, but you know what? That's where our hearts
okay.
are. That's
It's
where
okay.
our hearts are, and that's what we want y'all to know, how our sons and daughters give so much. And of course our husbands too. My husband served, my brothers and my dad. So it goes way back. And then some of the people are getting with us that their parents or their grandparents have passed on, so they're donating their uniforms. And that takes a lot to let go of something like that, but at the same time to have it displayed in our store and
That's an honor in
be
itself.
able to walk by and say, that's my dad's.
Yeah.
That's my uncle's flag. We're proud of that, and we want y'all to be proud of that too.
Yeah, my son's boots is in that window. He wore them in
That's right.
Afghanistan. And I mean, those things still have the dirt in them and everything else.
That's right.
Well, I left them just the way they were. He says, Mother, what are you going to do with these? And I said, I got a place for them.
That's right. And you know what? We show them with pride.
Yes.
If somebody comes in the store and asks about a uniform or they ask about a pair of boots, why is this pair of boots here? Well, I'll show you the picture of the guy that they belong to, and I'll show you that they was in Iraq and Afghanistan, and this dirt on them, they was over there too.
He just put them in a tub, with
Yeah.
dirt and everything else on them.
Yeah. So, we kind of laugh about it, but
Right,
it
yeah.
truly is very emotional for us to be able to share our sons and daughters' items when they have deployed.
And we love this stuff that the people bring in, for us to show in the windows, a uniform for maybe a father
Right.
or a son or, even a mother maybe that had served in the military or something.
Exactly.
It's just really amazing.
And for all of you Marines out there,
Uh-oh, here we go.
we have been in the mall for probably about 5-6 years, maybe a little longer. And we have yet to have a Marine part with a uniform so that we could proudly display it. So now I've put you all on notice.
We need something from the Marines.
That's right, because we're just as proud of the Marines as
proud
we
of all
are
of them.
any of them.
You know.
But, you know, we can't get those Marines to release that uniform.
It can be on loan and you will get it back.
That's right. So if you'd like to share that, we'll be glad to take it. Sorry, my eyes are watering. Not that I'm emotional or anything, you know.
Allergies, yeah. Yeah. But if anyone wants to come and help at the packing meeting, we always have a lot of fun.
Yes.
And it's fun to see what we put in the boxes. And then, you know, I do the custom forms. And, you know, even though I have never met this soldier or troop or airman or Marine or anybody, it's like they're one of my kids.
That's right, because you write their name.
I
every
wrote
month.
their name, so however long they're there, and it's like, I wish I would get to meet each and every one of you.
And you know, I kind of wish that they could meet her too, because you know what, that's a lot of time to sit and make out all these custom forms.
Well, there's a lot of love involved in it too.
That's true. And I think that's with all of us moms. We love our troops. We
Whatever
love
we
each
do,
other.
you know.
And whoever is giving whatever is just a piece of their heart.
No, and
So-
and you know, with our donations, we have to have the monetary donation plus what goes in our care package to send it. And we have been able to do that since January of '06, and we couldn't have done it without the community, the veterans organizations, the individual people, the churches.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many people that has made this happen.
Exactly.
It's not just, I mean, it's not just the Blue Star Mothers, it's everybody that's involved that goes in this box.
Yes, and you know, I always say that I hate to mention names because I'm afraid I'll leave someone out.
Right.
But you know, we have an organization here in town that just had us come and they gave us some help and a good sized donation. And that was the Elks Lodge. And you know, they are willing to help us in any way they can, and we appreciate them. So if you have a club or a church group or anyone that would like to help, we welcome all of you. And we're so thankful for all of you. And we're thankful for Enid Television for letting us come on here and talk and say what we have to say. So,
And it doesn't matter if it's $1, $100, or $1,000.
That's right.
Every little bit helps. I know the one church sends their dime donation.
yes, yes.
And, you know, every little bit helps to get these boxes going out.
And another church has sponsored us this last month, and we're getting items in almost, you know, every Thursday or Friday we get new items. And that's because this group's come together and they help us out. And we couldn't do this without their help.
Takes everybody.
So for all of you, the retirees that step up to the plate, the servicemen who step up, and the wives and the family, we thank you all.
We do.
And we appreciate y'all. And before I get off of here, because we don't have much time left, I would like to say, please continue to pray for our troops. Please continue to pray for their families. And pray that our troops come home, every one of them, whether it was past or now. If they're over in harm's way, help them to come home and know that we love them all. Karen, would you like to say something?
I just would like to say God bless America.
Thank
It's
you.
a wonderful country.
Thank you, and thanks for being here with us today, as always.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matt Lohman, CEO of Hope Outreach Ministries, where our mission statement is sharing the love of Jesus Christ to the felt needs of our community for the purpose of empowering people towards responsible living. Where we have our parenting ministry, our homeless ministry, our community care ministry, our transitional housing ministry, and our thrift store ministry, which helps everyone in our community who is in need. Please look for us on Community Talk. We're looking forward to telling you more about each of those ministries.
Hello, I'm Carmen Ball with Hedges Regional Speech and Hearing Center, and we are here to wrap up the month of May, which is Better Hearing and Speech Month. With me today is Kim Tinius. who's the audiologist at Hedges Speech and Hearing. And we have talked so much about hearing and speech this whole month, about conservation and what's out there and what's new. And Kim, talk us about what does an audiologist do, and what do you want to say on hearing conservation?
Okay, well, I'm an audiologist, so I am dealing with all the hearing and balance issues that a person may have with their hearing health. With that being said, the things that I do out there as an audiologist would be I do a diagnostic hearing evaluation. I also do the programming and fitting of the hearing aids that a person may receive if I recommend them, as well as cochlear implants, the mapping that goes with that, and all the follow-up that goes beyond the cochlear implant. Also test the kiddos that come out there that may have ear infections and such, that I get to tell the parents what the next step is, whether it be go back to the primary care or go to the ENT that they may have, the ear, nose, and throat doctor. And then we have them come back in and we just make sure those ears are clear. Other thing that I've been doing a little bit more lately is hearing conservation. I've been fitting people with custom earplugs so we can protect those ears so they don't have to come see me for hearing aids or a cochlear implant, but rather just to protect their ears and keep the hearing that they do have. We just had a pilot come in from Vance that got fit because those little foam earphones that he had, the yellow ones that they've been told to wear, they don't fit his ears well and they caused him some pain. So now he's in something custom designed just for his ear, and he's going to come back out in about a week, and then he's going to get fitted with them and wear them on the airplane. So
and you also help with like custom plugs for swimming or anything like that too?
We do plugs out there for kids that are in the pool, or if they do get tubes. That was another a couple patients that came out and did. We protect those ears from getting water in when they shouldn't get water in, and also with the shooting, when they're out there out in the gunfire and such, people are doing shooter's plugs. They're doing the ones that protect just from the loud noises that are in the environment, such as lawnmowers and tractors and heavy machinery construction.
We are a very noisy society,
very
so
much.
it just...
Well, and the good thing about that, I will say, the gentleman that just came out asked me, how am I supposed to hear my fellow pilot? And I said, well, we have filters in those earplugs that allow speech to get through, so you can hear the speech of, say, your person telling you some information you need to know, but it dampens out the sound that's the loud impulse noise that we're protecting your ears from. So.
And that just seems cool that you can protect from something like a shotgun, but you can still hear someone you're with.
Right, exactly. It's important because if you need to be told something like, oh, stop, you want to be able to hear that person telling you to stop. But the way that the custom plugs are designed now, they have really honed in on keeping them safe and able to give you access to speech. So
Cool.
Love that.
And speaking with the guy out at Vance reminded me that you've been talking about the new program that Hedges is involved with the Veterans Choice Program.
Yes, Veterans Choice Program. I have been accustomed to it for about almost a year now. We've had people coming in saying they're veterans and saying they go to the city or go to Muskogee. They go, I think that's near Tulsa, and then also to Fort Sill. And they say, well, I travel from Enid all the way to these different places, and I don't know what the travel distance is to Muskogee and those other places, but the city, at least an hour and a half, and they got to go down there, they got to find parking, I mean, all the little things that they have to do, where now they can come locally to Enid, where we're at, and get fitted with their hearing aids, get fitted with the any other device that they may need, if it be hearing protection. The VA is paying for all that, but it's coming through me to get fitted, so that they don't have to travel to the city for those little things like cleaning it, or, oh gosh, this wasn't working, and all it was a simple, fix that I did with cleaning it. Or if a repair needed, I could send it off, and then they got it back with me instead of traveling to the city, then coming back, and then I'm just making those trips. The one thing with Veterans Choice is you have to be a veteran, of course. The criteria involves where you have to be a certain amount of distance. I believe it's 35 miles, maybe 40. 35, 40 miles.
Either way, we're well over
in
excess of that. Yeah.
It's that many miles from your closest VA. You've also, or if you're closer than that, let's say you are a medical condition, say you're unable to drive due to you're been told not to drive. So those are reasons that you would come to locally so that you can get served for your hearing needs. But we started that program back in June last year. been hit pretty hard with word of mouth of the veterans out there speaking from every branch. I think I've had come in, and they're getting fitted with their hearing aids. They're coming in for follow-up. They're getting any kind of repairs needed. So it's kind of cool. I get to hear all the stories that they give me from, our Korean vets to our Vietnam, and even our recent guys that have gone. They're coming back in through us, and it's been fun.
Because both of our dads are vets, so it's really
Yes.
important.
It is very much.
That we serve that population.
That's right. I'm a product of the Vietnam War, so I appreciate that big time. My mom's Vietnamese. My dad went to the Vietnam War, so I'm here because of all that happening. But I want to service and make sure our vets are taken care of because they're near and dear to my heart. Okay.
And if we only had my dad down here, you would have a World War II vet.
Well, hey.
So that would be even cooler.
Wow. Our veterans are coming in I think my oldest one right now is 97, and I get to hear all the stories. Actually, he's 98. I take that back. He's 98. And he served, and he is just fabulous to hear the stories. All the stories.
If someone has a takeaway from Better Hearing and Speech Month, what would it be? Would you advise them to do an evaluation, what would you think would be a good idea for them to do?
Well, if you have concerns with your hearing or if you're with your speech as well, it doesn't hurt you to get it checked out. It's good to get a baseline done on anything that you do, even if it's eyes, ears, nose, whatever. But with hearing and speech, if your child's not speaking like they should at 2, you should get in and get them evaluated. Even if they are on track and with their age group and current, that's fine. At least you can rule that out. If if a kid isn't hearing, if you feel like they aren't hearing as well, not listening, but hearing as well, get them in. We can always do a hearing test on them and find out, where they're at. And then as an adult, especially when you hit the age of 50, I want to hear a baseline hearing eval on my patients just to know, this is where you are right now. Let's see the progression in the next, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, just to get that baseline done. Because hearing loss due to aging occurs around 50, and we want to make sure that that hearing is being monitored just like you would with your eyes. But I'm just a big fan of getting the hearing tested and getting that baseline done. If there is a hearing diagnosis that's done for a hearing loss and we proceed with that, at least I can give you options on where you need to go. But protect those ears as you can, because they have everything out there that you can protect your ears with, whether it be the noise limiting headphones that the little ones can wear, because kids love music. Get them on them. They have them in cool things like the Cars and Hello Kitty and what is there? Paw Patrol's out there now. They can wear those, and they think they're cool too. So let them get their hearing their music, but protect those ears, because I have so many kids that were turning up that volume on and they want to hear the loud music like we did when we were younger, but now we're really seeing the effects from it. And if we can just protect those little ones when they're young, we're going to do a lot better. And same with the adults now. Even if you have hearing loss, let's protect the hearing that you do have, because once hearing loss is there, it tends to go a little quicker, and you have more exposure to noise. It's going to cause greater hearing losses.
It kind of makes sense that if you have a problem with your hearing, you crank everything up or ask people to talk louder, or you don't jump when a machinery turns on next to you anymore.
No.
I mean, you just to keep exposing yourself.
You do, and just protecting those ears, because I have job security just based off of hearing loss due to aging. I have, and all the people that are born with hearing loss. I have job security. I don't need that noise-induced hearing loss coming through if we can protect it, because it's one that we can protect, and that's important.
You mentioned cochlear. I know that you do cochlear implants. You help with evaluation on that. Why is that a big deal for you?
Cochlear implants has been a big deal. I've spoken a few times here on Enid TV before, and of course my son has a cochlear implant, and that is why I'm in the business, is because of my son. But the cochlear implants are huge, because those people who don't get the benefit from a hearing aid have a huge hearing loss and need access to sound. It's important that we can help them find a solution to their hearing loss, whether it be a cochlear implant or learning sign language or whatever the case may be. But that cochlear implant has been amazing for some people that would not be hearing today. I mean, they've gone with hearing loss for the last 30, 40, 50 years, and here we're putting an implant on them, and now they're back into society and engaged into what conversation is. And that's why we want a hearing aid or an implant, so we can hear people speak to us. That's important.
And I know that you've talked about the amount of isolation it causes, especially for the elderly,
Yes.
if they don't keep up with their hearing and do
Right.
hearing aids if they're necessary, or implants.
I've just read a study that they did at Johns Hopkins University a few years ago in regards to Alzheimer's and dementia, and they said that 65 million people in America have some form of dementia. That's a huge amount, and keeping our hearing nerve and hearing stimulated is important so that we have that communication and keep that brain activity going, because if it slows down, and we do slow down as we age, our brain starts getting slower, but we want to keep it as active as we can so we don't go into, say, full-blown Alzheimer's. I know some people have a higher likelihood of developing that due to family history, but if we can slow it down and not go into that, I mean, it's an evil disease. That would, and all it takes is a hearing aid or just keeping your hearing stimulated. Let's do it. It's very important to me.
Great. What would you think would be people's first step if they're a veteran and they're looking at Veterans Choice?
Veterans, call your VA on the back of your card and say you want to get signed up with the Veterans Choice program, or you can go online. I was told you can go online and fill out the application for that, or whatever I don't want to say application, but the process of doing it. You can do that online. That's for Veterans Choice. You can always call at the clinic. Barbara has a number that I've given to her. I don't have it on top of my head, but you can call that number and they can navigate you the way to get signed up for Veterans Choice. As for patients that are not veterans, if you have certain insurances require you to have a referral, so like Medicare and Medicaid require referrals, so you have, or Senior Care. If you're one of those people that have those providers, you need to call your primary care doctor, get a referral, and they'll send the referral to our clinic, and then we'll get you scheduled for a hearing evaluation. As for like other insurances that don't require referrals, call out to Hedges and Barbara will navigate you through what you need to do. If you don't remember anything I just said, call or understand it, call Barbara. She will answer all those questions for you.
But don't take your hearing for granted. Come out and call and get an appointment. We have many spousal referrals too. And if you get tired of your spouse saying, huh, what? Then maybe you need to be more proactive of helping get them out. And don't lose that vital communication with the rest of the world. And we are here to please communicate. I'm Carmen Ball with Hedges Speech and Hearing, and Kim Tinius, our audiologist, also at Hedges Speech and Hearing. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Tracy Biddle from Leonardo's Children's Museum. Don't forget to come see us at 200 East Maple in downtown Enid, and also watch for us here on Community Talk.